Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, we are from ninth group and now we are going to present the material that we have discussed, namely assessing reading. Okay, so before we start, I would like to introduce my group, which is consists of four members. Those are Abdul Salam, Anggraini Kusumadewi, Ayu Jihanabila, and then May Andini Ayuning Tias. So let's get started. The first material will be delivered by Abdul Salam. Okay, Abdul Salam, times is yours.
All right, thank you for the moderator. Okay, the first material is the about assessment. According to Lins and Noonan 2005, said that assessment is the gathering of information for the specific purpose. They also in Freeman 2004 said that when assessing students, it's important to remember that assessment should be a measure of what students are able to do and what they know. Meanwhile, Brown 2004 said that assessment is an ongoing process that encompasses a much wider domain. Whenever a student responds to a question, offers a comment, or tries out a new words or structure, the teacher subsequently makes an assessment essay is performance that ultimately is assessed by self, teacher, and possibly the other students. Next material is about reading. Reading is the process to get, to understand, to catch the content of the reading. And also reading is a process to understand a written text, which means extracting the required information from it as efficiently as possible. According to Noonan 2003, reading is fluent process of readers combining information from a text and their own background knowledge to build a meaning. It means reading covers a lot of things. From those genres of the written text read by the readers, they have to interweave their background knowledge to construct meanings after understanding the text in order to make a better concept of the reader talk. To construct meaning and conceive a writer's message from the text, the readers bring information, knowledge, emotion, experience, and culture to the printed word in order. So the next material is about reading comprehension. According to Klinger, Fogg, Boardman, 2007, said that reading comprehension is the process of constructing meaning by coordinating a number of complex processes that include word reading, word and word knowledge and fluency. And also, Klinger, Fogg, and Boardman mention that five basic comprehension processes that work together simultaneously and complement one another: microprocesses, integrative processes, macro processes, elaborative processes, and metacognitive processes. According Spiro, Bruce, and Brewer, 1980, mentioned that there are three general types of common reading skills in order to able to get the ability to in comprehending the text or passage. First, locating details. It is simplest and involves recognition, paraphrase, and matching. The second group might be the label simple inferential skills and refers to the ability to draw inference after reading short segments of a passage. The third group might be label complex inferential skills and refers to the ability to draw inferences after reading longer segments and passage. Okay, I think that's all from me. Back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Abdul Salam. The next material will be delivered by Anggraini Kusuma-Dewi. Anggraini, times is yours.
Alright, thank you Yuji. The next material is about reading assessment. Reading assessment are used for many purposes, but all appropriate uses begin from an understanding of the reading construct, an awareness of the development of reading abilities, and an effort to reflect the construct in assessment texts. There are three aspects of reading comprehension according to Nuttall, 1982, which the student should understand to comprehend a text well, such determining main idea, finding specific information, making inference, identifying reference, and the understanding meaning of word. These aspects are regarded as difficulties that the student encounter in comprehend the text. The first is determining main idea. The main idea is a statement that tells the author's point about the topic. Based on Rowell, 2016, state the main idea of a paragraph is the point of the passage, minus all the details. In determining of the main idea, the students are expected to find the main idea of the text. So, the student should comprehend the topic that is told in the text. Therefore, this can make the main idea is more difficult to find. The student might get confused to see what the main idea of a passage is and where the main idea is located. And the second is making inference. In making of inference, the students are expected to comprehend the text to find the conclusion of the statement in the text. For example, the question is, what the meaning of the statement above? It means that the student needs to find the conclusion based on the statement. Therefore, sometimes the students are difficult to find the conclusion of the text because the meaning of the statement is not written on the text. And the third is understanding the meaning of word. In understanding the meaning of word, the student have to find the meaning of difficult word on the text context by comprehending the meaning of the sentence or the text, and then they will find the suitable meaning of the word. Based on H. 2000, notice vocabulary is another major component of reading ability with which language learner will experience difficulty. Therefore, unfamiliar vocabularies about the text need to be taught to students before reading the material so that they can be easily understand the material. Okay, the last is reading assessment comprehension. Based on Klinger, Font, and Bertman 2007 said there are three purposes of reading comprehension assessment. The first, it compares student comprehension level to those students in a norming simple. And second, another is to find out if students have met pre-established criteria for their grade level. A third purpose is to inform instruction by determining when students understand what they read and how efficiently they use which comprehension strategies. Meanwhile, based on Duke, 2003, state that comprehension is a process in which readers make meaning by interacting with the text through the combination of prior knowledge and previous experiences, information in the text, and the views of reader related to the text. The purpose is to get an understanding of the text rather than to acquire comprehension is to the mental representation of a text meaning that is combined with the reader's previous knowledge. And that's all for me. And back to moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Angie. Okay, the next material will be delivered by me. Micro skills and macro skills. Micro skills consist of 6 lists. Those are 1. Discriminate among the distinctive graphemes and orthographic patterns of English. 2. Retain chunks of language of different lengths in short-term memory. 3. Process writing at an efficient rate of speed to suit the purpose. 4. Recognize a core of words and interpret word order patterns and their significance. 5. Recognize grammatical word classes such as nouns, verbs, etc. And then system, for example, like tense, agreements, and pluralization. And then patterns, rules, and elliptical forms. And the last is recognize that a particular meaning may be expressed in different grammatical forms. Okay, the next is macro skills. Macro skills consist of 8 lists. Those are 1. Recognize cohesive devices in written discourse and their role in signaling the relationship between and among clauses. 2. Recognize the rhetorical forms of written discourse and their significance for interpretation. 3. Recognize the communicative functions of written text according to form and purpose. 4. Invert context that is not explicit by using background knowledge. 5. From describe events, ideas, etc., infer links and connection between events, deduce causes and effects, and detect such relation as main idea, supporting idea, new information, given information, generalization, and exemplification. 6. Distinguish between literal and implied meanings. 7. Detect culturally specific references and interpret them in the context of the appropriate cultural schemata. Okay, the last is develop and use a battery of reading strategies such as scanning and skimming, detecting discourse markers, guessing the meaning of words from context, and activating schemata for the interpretation of text. Okay, the next material that is reading genres. According to Brown 2003, he mentioned that there are 3 kinds of genres of reading. They are academic reading, job-related reading, and then personal reading. Okay, academic reading. And the first is general interest article, such as in magazines, newspapers, etc. The second is technical report, such as lab reports. And then the third is professional journal articles, reference material, such as dictionaries, etc. And the fourth is textbooks and theses. The fifth is essays and papers. The sixth is tests and directions. And then the seventh is editorial and opinion writing. Okay, the next is job related reading. The first is message, for example, like phone message. And then the second is letters or emails. And the third is memos, for example, like inter-office. And then the fourth is reports, for example, like job evaluation, project reports, and etc. And then the next is schedules, labels, signs, and announcements. And then the sixth, there are forms, application, and questionnaires. And then the next, there are financial documents such as bills, invoices, and etc. Okay, the next is directories, for example, such as telephone, office, and etc. And then the last, there are manuals and directions. The next material will be delivered by May Andini Ayu Ningtyas. May, times is yours.
Okay, number 3 is personal reading. Personal reading is the first is newspaper and magazines, letter, emails, greeting card, and invitation. Third is message notes, list, and then schedules like train, bus, plane, and etc. And then receipts, menus, maps, or calendars. And then advertisement, there are commercials or one advertisement. And then novels, short stories, jokes, drama, and poetry. And then financial documents like check, tax forms, and loan application. And the last is forms, questionnaires, medical reports, immigration documents, and comic strip. And the last is cartoon. The next is I will explain about types of reading. Brown 24 said that for considering assessment procedure, several types of performance are typically identified, and this will serve as a organize of various assessment tasks. There are perspective reading. Perspective reading tasks involve attending to the components of larger stretch of discourse, like letter, words, punctuation, and other graphic symbols. Perspective reading can be multiple choice, minimal pair distinction, and picture cued items. Number 2 is selective reading. In order to ascertain one's reading recognition of lexical, grammatical, or discourse feature of language within a very short stretch of language, certain typical tasks are used. Picture cued task, matching true false, or multiple choice, or etc. The third is interactive reading. The focus of an interactive task is to identify relevant feature like lexical, symbolic, grammatical, and discourse within text of the moderately short length with the objective of retaining the information that is processed. It's like the example is close task, short answer task, and ordering task. The fourth and last, extensive reading. It applies to text of more than a page, up to and including professional articles, essay, technical reports, short stories, and books. The example of extensive reading can be skimming task, summarizing, and responding. That's for me. Back to moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, May. So that's all for us. If you have any question, you can ask when we are doing Google Meeting. Okay. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.